You're sitting on your couch. You know you should be working or exercising or finally cleaning that one doom drawer in your kitchen. You have the desire. You might even have the plan. But between the thought, I should do this, and the actual movement of your limbs, there's this void, a black hole of hesitation where your brain whispers, maybe in 5 minutes, or tomorrow, or when the moon is in the correct quadrant of the sky. What if I told you that the difference between the person you are and the person you want to be isn't a year of expensive therapy or a personality transplant? It's a 5-second window. That's it. If you don't move within 5 seconds, your brain will kill the idea to protect you from the danger of being uncomfortable. Today, we're diving into the neurobiology of the micro-habit. I'm going to show you 5 specific 5-second triggers that rewire your brain faster than traditional talk therapy because they bypass the thinking mind and go straight for the hardware. And stick around, because the 4th habit involves a weird psychological trick used by elite athletes that makes starting feel like an accident rather than a chore. But first, we have to understand why your brain is currently programmed to keep you stuck. Your brain is a masterpiece of evolution, but it's also a bit of a drama queen. Its primary job isn't to make you happy, successful, or ripped. Its job is to keep you alive. To your amygdala, writing a book and being chased by a saber-toothed tiger feel remarkably similar because both involve uncertainty and risk. When you have an impulse to do something great, your brain immediately pulls the emergency brake. It starts a countdown of excuses. You've probably heard of the 5-second rule popularized by Mel Robbins, but the science behind why it works is even more fascinating. It's about outrunning your prefrontal cortex before it can talk you into a nap. This is where the concept of rewire your brain, which, coincidentally, is what we're all about here, comes into play. Are you actually changing your DNA? No, but you are changing your neural pathways. Think of your habits like a hiking trail. If you always walk the path of, I'll do it later, that path becomes a paved highway. To change, you have to hack through the weeds. It's exhausting, unless you use a shortcut. But what happens when the emergency brake isn't just laziness, but a physical shot of cortisol? That leads us to our first habit, which handles the one thing that ruins most mornings before they even start. We've all been there. The alarm goes off. It's 6 a.m. You feel like a human burrito, warm and safe. You have 5 seconds to move, or you'll hit snooze. If you hit snooze, you enter a new sleep cycle that you can't finish. You wake up 10 minutes later feeling like you've been hit by a truck. This is called sleep inertia. But the habit here isn't just getting up, it's the 5-second countdown. When the alarm goes off, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The moment you hit 1, you must physically stand up. Why the countdown? Because counting backwards is a starting ritual. It requires focus, which shifts control from the emotional part of your brain to the logical prefrontal cortex. It's like hot wiring a car. Self-correction. I know what you're thinking. I tried that once and I just counted to 1 and stayed in bed. Well, that's because you treated it like a suggestion. It's a command. The beauty of the physical launch is that it builds activation energy. Once you're standing, the hardest part of the day is over. Seriously, you've already won the biggest psychological battle you'll face all day. But waking up is just the beginning. The real challenge is the mental fog that hits around 2 p.m. when your brain starts looking for a hit of dopamine, usually in the form of a bag of chips or a 45-minute TikTok rabbit hole. How do we stop that? Most people think therapy is the only way to handle cravings or bad habits. But therapy often looks backward. We need to look at the now. When you feel the urge to check your phone or eat junk, you have a 5-second window of urge surfing. Instead of fighting the urge, which makes it stronger, you perform a 5-second pivot. The habit is this. The moment the craving hits, count to 5 and perform one unrelated, boring task. Fold one shirt, delete one email, pour one glass of water. This works because of neurosubstitution. You are teaching your brain that the craving doesn't have to result in the reward. You're breaking the circuit. It's slightly annoying, and your brain will hate it at first. But after about a week, the itch for the bad habit starts to lose its power. You're essentially becoming a cognitive ninja, disappearing from your own bad patterns before they can grab you. Now, this works for stopping bad things. But what about starting the big, scary things? That brings us to habit number 3, which involves a concept I like to call the garbage first draft. Perfectionism is just procrastination in a tuxedo. It's the reason you haven't started that project. You think it has to be great, so your brain sees the task as a mountain. The 5-second habit here is commit to 5 seconds of the task with the explicit goal of doing it poorly. Need to write an essay? Tell yourself you'll write for 5 seconds and it can be the absolute worst sentences ever written in the English language. Want to work out? Put on your shoes and do 1 push-up. Just 1. Psychologically, we call this reducing the cost of entry. Your brain isn't afraid of writing. It's afraid of writing well. When you give yourself permission to be trash for 5 seconds, the resistance vanishes. The funniest part? Once you start, you usually keep going. The human brain has a bias called the Zeigarnik effect. We hate leaving things unfinished. The hard part isn't the work. It's the becoming the person who is doing the work. But even if you're doing the work, you might still be miserable. You might be successful, but stressed out of your mind. Is there a way to rewire your brain to actually enjoy the process? This is the trick elite athletes and performers use. It's about the 5-second window when you feel anxiety. Physiologically, anxiety and excitement are almost identical. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your breathing quickens. The only difference is the label your brain puts on it. When you feel that pit in your stomach, maybe before a meeting or a hard conversation, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and say out loud, "I am excited." Don't say, "I am calm." Calm is the opposite of how you feel. It's a lie, and your brain knows it. Excited is in the same neighborhood as anxious. By relabeling the sensation, you flip the switch from a threat response to a challenge response. You go from being the prey to being the predator. It sounds like hippie nonsense until you try it and realize your brain is surprisingly easy to prank. We've covered waking up, stopping cravings, starting tasks, and managing stress. But none of this sticks if you don't have the final piece of the puzzle. The habit that ensures you don't just do these things for one day, but for a lifetime. Every time you successfully use one of these 5-second habits, you have a tiny window to seal the deal. Most of us finish a task and immediately think about the next thing we have to do. We never acknowledge the win. But dopamine is the save button for your brain's programming. Within 5 seconds of completing a micro habit, standing up from the alarm, pivoting from a craving, doing that 1 push-up, you need to give yourself a high 5, internally or literally. Celebrate the small win. Tell yourself, that's exactly what your name does. I'm the kind of person who moves. This is the identity anchor. You aren't just trying to change. You are proving to your nervous system that you have changed. Therapy often spends years trying to convince you that you're worthy of change. These 5 seconds prove it to you in real time. Rewiring your brain isn't about the 2-hour meditation retreats or the $500 seminars. It's about the 5 seconds between your alarm going off and your feet hitting the floor. It's about the 5 seconds between the urge to yell and the choice to breathe. You don't need more time. You need more starts. If you found this helpful, do me a favor. Don't just watch another video. Pick one of these 5 habits and use it in the next hour. Prove to yourself that you're the one holding the remote control to your mind. Remember, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. See you in the next one.